I am Bravo Vomula, and I am your wartime consigliere. If you are listening to this, you know there is a glitch in the Matrix. If you ever hear my voice, you know that I slipped through the cracks, and this is just a glitch in the Matrix. You are not supposed to be hearing this. But it is an interesting story. Take it as a cautionary tale, or it could be an information session, a warning, or a how-to. It doesn't really matter how you take it, but it is a story of today's modern world on the internet, the World Wide Web, where they control everything. But who is she? She is the story today. You've seen her face everywhere, but do you know her name? Now you do. Her name is Rebecca Ariane Givens. Now, they call her the most famous model in the world that you've never heard of, or the most overexposed model in the world. In the beginning, she did not want anybody to know who she was. She was from Canada. Just a sweet little girl who wanted to make a little side money as a stock model. Now, they don't make very much money, but that's okay. She didn't need much money. She was going to school. She was going to be a lawyer. And this is the story of Rebecca Ariane Givens. Her mother is Chinese and her father is French Canadian. She started her photo shoots in around 2005. I first started to see her smiley face up on the billboards in Las Vegas a couple years ago, and it did strike me strange that she seemed to be everywhere. Everywhere I turned around, I started to see her face. I thought it was so strange, and today we are going to discuss the story. Many people have become obsessed with her. She is sort of a fantasy for them. Yes, this is very, very interesting story in human nature. And now that she is famous, well, she is free game. We are here to tell the newsworthy story. This is a newsworthy story, and we are going to discuss Rebecca Ariane Givens, the most overexposed stock model out there. Now, many people have different theories on why she has become so successful, why everybody is obsessed with her face, and she's sort of a fantasy. Everybody has their own theories on it. But I will say this, that nobody is actually brought up. You see, she is not the first Eurasian model to become famous, and she will not be the last. You see, Europeans are sort of rough around the edges. And when you add the soft Asian features to the rough European framework, well, what you've done is you've softened up a rougher appearance, and what you have is a very pleasant looking face to look at. As I said, she is not the first Eurasian to be a model or an actress, and she definitely will not be the last. So it does not surprise me that she had to change her phone number because she had a stalker. People think that they know her. She's come to realize this. She knows that she has obsessed fans out there, and they have a fantasy over her. And we're going to go into that part of the story. There was even one young gentleman who was obsessed with her for literally years. I believe it was over 5 years before he actually found out her name. He documented the story. Here it is. Guy documents story. He kept on seeing Rebecca's picture everywhere. He was obsessed with this lady, but he knew nothing about her. He just knew that every week, every month, he kept on seeing her face. He tried to find out what he could, but years went by, and he never found out anything. He would see her picture on the bus, and he would actually scream at the bus, "Who are you? Who are you?" Can you imagine this man pulling his hair out? This young kid, maybe hormones raging. He's in college and he sees the love of his life. He's obsessed with her. It's his fantasy. But, as he said, years went by, literally years went by. Every week he would meet her somewhere, on a billboard, or on the side of the bus. Or he would open up a magazine and there she was with her 28th different boyfriend or husband. But he did not give up. In one last ditch attempt, he went to Google and he put in Asian stock photo girl. Some people put in the happy Asian girl model. And he found out her name, finally. She was only going by Ariane then. Ariane or Ariane. He found out her name. And that was a start. Now, no one knows for sure, but was it this young man who forced Rebecca to change her phone number? No one knows. Is he now living out of his car in Brooklyn, hoping to catch a glimpse of her while she's walking to her yoga class? No one knows. But this is the story. And some people could not help notice that there were many, many Hebrew ads, and people started to wonder, who was her modeling agency? Because no one knows. When you want to find the big picture of the Matrix, find out who her modeling agent is and you will know the secret. But it is out now. She has spilled the beans. She is from Canada. She has a Facebook page and she tells everybody, yes, I live in Brooklyn, New York. What's her next step? Possibly Hollywood, to be an actress. That would be perfect on the evolutionary stage of a career of a beautiful young lady like this. But before I leave you, I will tell you some of the history that she had to go through to become a stock model worker. What do you have to go through? Basically, you don't make that much money. You have to find a photographer, and then one day you go out with the photographer, and he takes all these different pictures of you and all different scenarios, and he gives you $500, and you sign some papers, and off you go, and then you are a stock model. Anybody can grab your picture and they can blast your picture over every billboard from the Philippines to Germany to Thailand to even Las Vegas. So that is the story. There is a glitch in the Matrix. And if you are listening to Bravo Von Mueller, you know that you slipped through the cracks.